Hello everyone, this is Dr. Teresa here again, following up on my tragedy from the weekend with the Dwarf Seahorses. First, I want to thank all of you for your kind messages and your offers to help. It really means a lot, so thank you. And Brian even went the extra mile and did a little research on my behalf and reached out to a national retailer asking about one of their brands of aquarium decorations, and it turns out this particular retailer does not recommend any of their aquarium decorations for salt water. They are not rated for salt water. So that was very revealing, and I'm hoping some of you will learn from my experience. Well, my husband and I reviewed the decoration that was in the tank that I had concerns about, and my husband was thinking there must be some sort of metal inside of there, and we actually had fear that whatever metal was used to attach parts even had some infused copper in there. Of course, copper is very dangerous for invertebrates and can be also equally as dangerous, if not deadly, for seahorses. And in addition to that, it does tend to bond with the tank wall, so a layer of it is always permanently left in the tank. Well, anyway, I'm hoping people learn from my blunder. Don't use any old aquarium decoration from a typical retail store. Make sure that what you get is all plastic or saltwater safe. Anyway, our plan was to follow up with me adding a mini power filter, my AquaClear Mini, or they're known now as the 20, and I did put a poly pad at the bottom of it and then loaded it with carbon and ran that for 12 hours in the tank. Then I drained the tank as 100% or close to it as I could, and even at the very end I mopped up what I could with a towel, just soaking up what I could. I then began refilling the tank, all with brand new, freshly prepared salt water. When I was ready to restart the filters, I disposed of the sachet of carbon that I originally prepared, and then prepared a new batch, rinsed it, and put it in the AquaClear Mini and ran the carbon again. And that was just a safety measure, because if you are pulling out toxins and carbon does saturate, it will release back into the water. I let the aquarium run for 24 hours, and one of the reasons was to let the temperature equalize. I do have the small tank, or I did have it next to my 10-gallon aquarium, so that when I transferred the seahorses back, the aquarium temperatures would be comparable. And also, it just gave that carbon a chance to run its course and pull out as much as it could. As of today, I have confirmed 10 casualties. I ended up moving 41 seahorses that were still alive into the 10-gallon tank, and I'm going to continue to monitor them. You can see the majority of them are doing well. Some of them are acting like nothing is even happening or had happened to them. They're eating, might even be flirting a little bit. For the most part, they're swimming normally. There is one guy kind of hanging out at the top that I'm a little bit worried about. So in all, right now, I have 41 live dwarf seahorses, which means I had over 50 before everything happened. But it was kind of interesting to watch the seahorses once I moved them into the smaller tank with very clean water that only had a minimum amount of the toxin in it. They seemed to start coming to life. Some looked like they were dead, and they started moving, and I noticed whatever has happened to them, they seem to lose mobility in their tail, and their tails seem to develop that flexibility back. And they were also looking dark in color, and their color is starting to come back. So I would say I intervened just in time to potentially save a majority of the herd. 41 or 40-ish is still a good amount of seahorses for breeding, and I'm hoping they start getting to normal. I also added a little bit of formalin, a dose appropriate for a 10-gallon aquarium as recommended by Charles, because one of the symptoms I noticed before everything started to basically turn into disaster was that the seahorses were itching. So just to prevent any kind of parasite that might take advantage of their vulnerability and try to get into their skin and just kill those off. One good thing is that when I took apart the mini filter and took a good look at the polypad, I did not see any hints of blue, which is a sign that copper has been pulled out of an aquarium. So I feel really good that our theories about there being some sort of copper mixed in with the metal that we suspect is in the aquarium decoration doesn't look like there was any. I'm very hopeful at this point that the majority are going to survive. I'll probably know more in the next few days, so I'll give an update over the weekend. But I really hope that my tragedy, my blunder, is going to be something that others will benefit from, and the losses that I had will hopefully prevent others from having losses as well. Thanks so much for following along. Once again, I appreciate the support, and thanks for watching. Take care.